Welcome to the We Got Notes podcast, hosted by your cinema connoisseurs. That includes myself, Shawn, that's Shawn Edwards, and my girl, Fahnia Thomas. Now, check this out. This is the only spot with two certified, I'm talking about two certified film critics in the building, offering uninhibited and jocular chats about film and television.
Hey, that's right, Shawn. Each month, we'll bring you stories from sets, tales from behind the scenes, and movie reviews, plus some TV thoughts from the latest releases. Because we got notes. So chill out, grab a snack, and vibe with us. And if you got notes, let us know. Drop them in the comments. We might read some.
Welcome back to We Got Notes podcast. Thank you for joining us for episode 12. Today, we're going to be discussing the 688 and Hidden Figures, films that are very near and dear to our hearts and that I know I can say for myself, I loved. Shawn, you loved them too, huh?
Yes, I did. And we're talking about both those films because we are celebrating Black History Month, and celebrating Black History Month is more important than it's ever been before. There seems to be this assault on our stories. There seems to be this whole new theme of recreating or rewriting history or erasing history, whatever you want to call it, particularly here in the United States of America. You know, there's some new narratives that are popping up that I'm like, what? Huh? Like, we have receipts, and the best receipts are movies. That's the importance of movies. That's the importance of Black filmmakers being able to tell stories about the Black experience. We can document this because these films will last forever, and they tell the stories, and they talk about our journeys, they talk about our experiences, and you can't erase them. And so they are so very important. And I like the fact that we're going to talk about Hidden Figures, the 2016 film, and the 6888, the 2024 film, because they focus on something that we rarely get to see on screen. Black women doing big things,
women
things
fixing the problem. If these aren't films that epitomize, get a Black woman to do it, get a Black woman to fix it, like, we need more of this. When I watched the 6888, I had no idea about this. And I've been around for quite a while.
I'm not going to even front. I didn't know anything about the women from Hidden Figures or the women from the 6888. And I grew up with two very pro-Black parents. I went to a HBCU. Like, I'm all about Black film and Black cinema. And I'm very studied and researched, and I knew nothing about either of these stories. And I was so embarrassed when these films came out. I was so embarrassed that I didn't know about these Black women who worked for NASA. I was so embarrassed that I didn't know about this all Black female regiment during World War II who helped the soldiers get their mail. And here's the thing. This is why I love both these movies, because when you talk about American history, there are two signature events that always get love, like by the mainstream. That's the first man to ever land on the moon and our victory against the Germans and the Italians and the Japanese during World War II. Like, when there are certain factions in this country that talk about make America great again, they are talking about that era, the end of World War II. That is the most celebrated moment in the history of the United States. Our victory in World War II and landing on the moon in 1969. And neither one of those events would have happened without Black folk being involved.
Neither one. And the fact that it's taken this long, 2024, for this to be on the big screen to tell the story. And I'm glad you brought up American history, because I feel like sometimes these films get mislabeled as Black films.
Yes.
This is an American film. This is more of American history than it really is like Black history, because like you said, none of those monumental things would have been able to transpire without this battalion.
No, and that's the thing. There's several things I really love about the 6888. which you can watch right now on Netflix. Kudos to Netflix for greenlighting this project. The first thing is, let's set the record straight. I'm tired of Tyler Perry haters. I'm tired of Tyler Perry haters. You hate him, love him, whatever. Like, look, stop bashing this man. You may not like his style. You may not like all the movies that he produces. But look, there's a couple of things. You cannot knock his hustle. You cannot knock his greatness. You cannot knock his contributions to cinema. This dude is a beast. I'm sorry.
And I wish he would do more films like this because he has the carte blanche. He has the backing. He has the FU money to where he can create and produce and put up whatever he wants. I would like to see more films like this from him.
I think he realizes that now. But I'm so glad he decided to tell this story. And you know what? The 688 it's well done. And I like this companion thing that we're doing with Hidden Figures in the 688. Because look, both these films did something that very few films do, which is give lots and lots and lots of Black women work in front and behind the camera. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, you can hate Tyler, you can love Tyler, but you like I actually wrote an editorial about how Tyler casts so many Black women in front of the camera and hires so many Black women behind the scenes. He's been doing this his entire career. You got to give my man lots and lots of credit for that. Like, there's no other filmmaker. Spike Lee don't do it. Spike Lee don't hire Black women in drove. John Singleton didn't do it. Not the way that like Tyler's worked with. He worked with Cicely Tyson. He's worked with Angela Bassett. He's worked with Taraji P. Henson. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. He's worked with them on, and he's worked with a lot of Black women behind the scenes, including the 688. I like that, and I like that he's telling that story. And at the center of the story is Kerry Washington, very established actress. But then the rest of the battalion, it's all newcomers.
Yes, he's putting them in the spotlight. He's giving them shine.
Yes. I like that. And like the film to me was every bit as credible as Saving Private Ryan. I like what he did, because look, when you say World War II, like, the thing that instantly pops in mind for most people are white soldiers.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like when you say World War II, like, oh, white soldiers. But no, Blacks have been involved in every major battle the United States has ever had. And we should get double kudos, because we were out here fighting against fascism, against Nazi Germany and Mussolini and Japan. And then we came back home and we couldn't even drink out of a damn water fountain.
Yo, like that is, you're right. We should get double props.
We should get triple, quadruple props. We are here fighting for democracy in other countries and other continents, clear across the planet. And then Black troops come home. We can't drink out no water fountain. We can't eat at no restaurant. We can't stay at no hotel. We can't buy no house in certain neighborhoods. They was lynching people in their uniforms because they was jealous and hating. So look, kudos to Tyler for finally telling this story that I knew nothing about. And job well done. Now, I know he incorporated some of his Tylerisms, but that was to add a little flavor and a little color to the proceedings.
You gotta leave your mark. Like, any artist is going to leave their signature. You know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't be a Tyler Perry film without his own dabs where people can see the Easter eggs. But I do want to talk about, because you mentioned how the highlighting of these females, these Black females that he offered. So just a little backstory for if you haven't seen the 688. It's a war drama. It's out on Netflix right now. It's based on, they handle the Central Postal Directory. All Black, all female, World War II. It is based on fighting a two-front war by Kevin, I think Heimel is his last name. And again, it's Kerry Washington, Ebony Obsidian, Milana Jackson, Shanice Shantae, Oprah Winfrey, Susan Sarandon.
Tyler does it very well. I'm just glad that this story got told. And as I said earlier, at the center of it is Kerry Washington. And why we weren't talking about her during award season is a complete travesty. Like we had mentioned before in previous episodes, I don't understand why Black women who play these like historical roles and do such a good job never get kudos. Like, how are you not at least in the conversation for Best Actress for this role? Like, I mean, I'm not saying you automatically should be nominated or you should even win, but she should have at least been in the conversation. She was fabulous. She was fantastic. She got the cadence of the voice down. She was like, it was a stellar performance. Like,
stellar performance.
Am I missing something? Like,
no, you're not wrong. You're not missing anything. This film should have more than just a Best Song Oscar nom. Like you said, there should be a nomination for Miss Washington. To play Charity Adams early, like, what? The way that she did? Hello? Voters, you have eyes? Do you not see what we saw?
Yeah, and then we nominating people who played strippers.
God, don't even get me, listen, don't take me back to Honora, please.
You gotta make me understand. Like, I mean, it was the same thing with Danielle Deadwyler when she played Emmett Till's mom, like, or Viola Davis in The Woman King. Like, what am I? Like, am I missing something? Do I need to go back and give back my film degree? Like, I don't understand. What am I missing? Kerry Washington's performance was fantastic. What am I missing?
Shawn, you know what I'm gonna say. You know what? I mean, did the major need to get naked? Like,
I mean,
make it make sense. Academy voters, make it make sense.
Emma Stone won last year for Poor Thing. She got naked like 20 times in the movie. I guess it works.
Listen,
you got to make it, but you got like I said. I'm not saying she should have been nominated, and I'm not saying she should win. I'm just saying, why was she not even in the conversation?
There was I feel like there was no awards push or like for your consideration or like marketing.
Nothing. Like what? Like, even the supporting cast was good. Like, the support. So that takes me back to Hidden Figures. Like, in 2016, it was the same thing. At least Hidden Figures was fortunate enough to get a Best Picture nomination.
And Octavia for supporting got a nom, and original screenplay got a nom.
Right, but I actually thought Janelle Monáe was the strongest performer in that film.
Really?
I thought, yeah, I did. Who you thought? Taraji?
I was voting for Octavia, hands down.
Octavia was good too. You know what? All three were good. Like that's what I'm saying. All three were good. It was such an important story. I mean, it was like, I like that movie, number one, because I didn't know anything about that story.
Yeah.
I also liked it too because Hidden Figures put an emphasis on science and mathematics. And I love seeing these women in those roles, because now future generations will watch that film and you have these young Black girls, even young Black men, who be like, okay, science and math is cool. I like that. And if you talk to NASA today, people are still visiting the Space Center in droves because of that movie. It was such an inspiring movie, and it was great to see these women, in these roles, in these positive situations. I mean, my only knock against Hidden Figures, and it's just a minor quibble, but the Kevin Costner character, like, almost drifted toward like becoming a white savior movie. Just a little, just a little. But remember, Hidden Figures was a major motion picture that was theatrical. There was a theatrical release. 20th Century Fox, which no longer exists, put the film out. I understand the Kevin Costner play.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the piece to make it a little more appealing and a little more universal. And like, he's the big non-Black name. I get that. I get it.
Listen, I didn't even remember Kevin This film was a 5 out of 5 claps for me. I
Yeah,
loved
Hidden
it
Figures.
from start to finish. I feel like we don't talk about female mathematicians, let alone Black female mathematicians. What?
Yeah, that was
Like,
dope.
and then also the segregation they had to deal with while doing their job, while trying to complete the mission. I don't remember Mahershala Ali's character, but I remember him in the film. Like, there's just certain actors that
He was a love interest. He was a love
is that what he
interest.
did? Okay.
Remember, he was the colonel.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
I don't know if he's a colonel per se. I say he was in the military. He
Okay.
was a love interest. Like, but that was the middle of his swag era. You know, because he picked up 2 Oscars real quick. He picked up he got the same amount of Oscars as Denzel Washington.
Not his swag era.
That was his swag. He won. It's like he won 2 Oscars. Like there was a moment in time where you didn't even know who Mahershala Ali was.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, he was like 2-time Academy Award winner Mahershala Ali. It felt like it happened. I went to bed one night and I woke up and he was a 2-time Academy Award winner. Like, bam, bam. Like, dang. That's his swag era.
Okay. Okay. I dig that. I like that. I like that.
He won that Oscar for Moonlight and turned around and won it for The Green Book. Like, he was hot. That was like a short amount of time. Like, it wasn't no 5-10 year span like Denzel Washington. Like, he was like, bam, bam. Like, I got 2.
Listen, we got to dig into that. Like, what is his secret? Was it more than just his acting? Was it the machine behind him? Because
I don't
that's
know.
rare.
He went from unknown to like I'm on the same level as Denzel Washington for real.
That's
Like,
very rare. We need
wow.
to know. We need to discuss. We
But
need
yeah,
the secret.
he was in it. Yeah, but no, hidden like I still watch Hidden Figures from time to time, and it still holds up. It's such an important film, you know, and it was a great moment for Taraji. It was a great moment for Octavia. It was a huge moment for Janelle Monáe because remember that was the year where she made her feature film debut. Like she was in Moonlight and Hidden Figures in the same year, both of which were nominated for Best Picture, and Moonlight actually won Best Picture. That's a Patrick Mahomes type start.
Yeah. You know what?
Yeah,
There's just something with me and Miss Janelle Monáe that, we're also do things behind the scenes. There's just been some interactions with her that the personal sometimes clouds the art for me when it comes to her acting, is what I'll say.
really. See, that's my homie.
Yeah.
That's my homie. We both from Kansas City, so that's my homie. That's my homie.
There has been, I mean, listen, raw and uncut, there has been times where she has walked right past the Rosa Parks section of the red carpet
Also,
and
you
not
talk about
talked to any black outlets.
the red carpet interaction. That's a
Yeah.
great segue because as we transition from these 2 great films, the 688 directed by Tyler Perry, and Hidden Figures directed by Theodore Melfi, we need to talk about award shows because in my mind, as I was watching both these films, Hidden Figures way back in 2016, I immediately when I saw it, I was like, this is an Oscar movie. Like this is an Oscar movie. This is an Oscar movie. This movie better get some nominations and it deserves a couple of wins. I said the same thing with the 688. I knew it wasn't going to happen. I knew they weren't going to celebrate this film the way it needed to be celebrated because it was directed by Tyler Perry. Like
Okay.
it was
So you think people have a certain?
Yep.
Okay.
People
Okay.
have
Let's.
yes. No. People have this weird bias against Tyler Perry. I don't know what it is. I mean, if it's the Medea movies, I mean, he's just doing those are fun. He's got an audience for those. I mean, hell, he built an entire movie studio because of Medea. So I mean, you can't hate. I mean, some of the Medea movies are actually funny. I mean,
They are.
they're funny, but there's a bias against Tyler Perry because I mean, look, the 688 is right on par as a complete unknown.
Ooh, yes.
I mean, it is. Complete Unknown is just a standard biopic, but it got a Best Picture nomination. The director got nominated. Timothy Chalamet can do no wrong. And that movie had no emotional arc.
I feel like we need to start hearing why. I feel like voters need to start submitting why they pick certain films. We need to know why. We need
Well,
answers.
yeah, I would love to see that published. I'm actually a juror for a couple of organizations, and I know one in particular. You do have to fill out why the movie was. Why did you choose this movie? Why was it important, and how does it fit into our narrative in terms of us selecting the top 10 films of the year? I think that's important because I don't get it, but I do think there's a bias against Tyler Perry. And these huge award shows, it's hard for movies about the Black experience or movies that are directed or produced by Black filmmakers to get the type of love that they actually deserve, because all of these voting bodies, whether you're talking about the Academy Awards, the Golden Globes, the Critics' Choice Awards, which I'm a part of, the SAG Awards, the people who vote for those awards, like the composition is stacked against films about the Black experience, because there aren't enough people that look like you. There aren't enough people that look like me that are voting. And even if like the Academy made all this big uproar about we're getting more diverse, we're adding more people. I mean, if you have 4,000 or 5,000 people voting and you add 60, that ain't
That ain't it. The math ain't math.
no, it's the math. The math is not mathing, and all these organizations are like that. There's just not enough people that look like you and I that are going to make a difference. And so that's why a movie like the 688 that's totally deserving gets left on the sidelines. That's why Kerry Washington's not even in the conversation, because the larger percentage of those memberships, they're not going to talk about Kerry Washington. They rather talk about a stripper.
Hello. And that is why it is so important to have award shows like the NAACP Image Awards, which has been
Yes,
around for over 55
forever. Yeah,
years.
yeah. That's the most important. That's the grandfather, the grandmother of award shows that are dedicated to celebrating the Black experience. And you got to give the NAACP props, because they've been out here fighting. Whether or not you pro or con their politics, whether or not you feel like they've progressed enough, recently, is neither here nor there. They were fighting a good fight, back in the day. The reason why we can even Zoom is because of the NAACP. Because if it wasn't for the
Yeah.
NAACP, only white people would be able to Zoom. So
Yeah. Okay.
it's like,
Or
I
have
mean,
podcasts or have film review shows,
or eat at a restaurant,
go to movies,
go to a movie, like
be in the movies.
right, exactly. Buy this sweater, like it's all of that. So you got to give kudos to the NAACP Image Awards. I mean, that's a big deal. And I got to give props to somebody who doesn't get talked about nearly enough. I got to give props to Jeff Friday. I mean,
Yes.
because Jeff was doing it. He's been doing it for a while, man. Like, when did he start
1997, the American Black Film Festival.
Yeah, Jeff and his wife too. I like that, because his wife is like really like that's a good look. It's like Jeff and his wife. The Fridays, yeah. The Fridays have been doing it for a long time. So I mean, and they're still going. So they have the ABFF honors as well. They do a lot. I know one of the people that they're honoring this year is Marla Gibbs, and it's about damn time.
Listen, if we don't honor these people, and if we wait for other organizations to do it, it'll never happen.
No, it won't. So yeah. So you got the NAACP Image Awards that have been holding it down. Now they give out a lot of awards. It's not just film. It's music. It's books. It's other things. So it's an expansive deal. It's almost hard to keep up with. But I also love what Jeff Friday's been doing with the film festival, with the honors.
Yes, Shawn, they're going to be honoring Marla Gibbs and Aaron Pierre. He's going to get the Rising Star Awards. The ABF honors will take place on February 17th. So you guys make sure you check that out.
No, please. And congratulations to the Fridays for keeping it and holding it down. I've actually gone to that show a couple of times. I remember one year Leonardo DiCaprio came and presented an award to Jamie Foxx. It was dope. Dope moment. It dope. It dope.
Wow.
Yeah. No, the Fridays ain't playing. The Fridays are not playing. So congrats to the Fridays. Got to give kudos to my main man, my partner in crime back in the day, Gil Robertson, African American Film Critics Association. I believe they just had their luncheon, so they do
Yes.
an annual special achievement luncheon, and then the awards are Africa Awards 2025. Africa Awards 2025 is on February the 19th.
Make sure you guys check that out. Support them. Again, you got to throw your support behind these shows that honor and recognize the people you like to watch.
Yeah, especially that's the importance of like a podcast like this too. We could, because I know a lot of people complain about the Golden Globes and the Oscars and all those other shows. Well, you got ABFF honors. You got the AAFCA Awards. I think both ABFF honors and the AAFCA Awards are on YouTube, so you can definitely check those out. And then, of course, the NAACP Image Awards on CBS, Paramount Plus.
Not sure, but it is on February 22nd.
Oh, so they're earlier this year. Good look for them. They're before the Oscars this year. They're usually after the Oscars this year. Cool. And just full disclosure, African American Film Critics Association, me and my man Gil started that way back 2003. Man, that's a long time ago.
Pioneers.
No. And last but not least, we're both involved with this. The Critics' Choice Association also produces the celebration of Black cinema and television, where this year we honored 14 different people, including Tyler Perry. Yeah, we had to. Tyler Perry's my guy. We honored Tyler Perry, Cynthia Erivo, John David Washington, and of course, the Queen, Regina King, was in the building.
Royalty.
Yes, that show is actually now streaming on Stars. So if you have the Stars app, you can watch that through March 1st. And then it's also going to be on television in select markets. I know you can watch it. It'll be airing in Los Angeles, San Diego, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., New York, Houston, St. Louis, Kansas City, Indianapolis, New Orleans, and other places. So check your local listings on Nexstar stations across the country. So that's a real dope show. So as you can see, you got some options. You got the Critics' Choice Celebration of Black Cinema and Television, which Fahnia and I both work on. You got the ABFF Honors, the Fridays produce that show. You got the African American Film Critics Association, which is run by Gil Robertson in that show. And then, of course, you got the one and the only, the NAACP Image Award. So there's a lot out there that showcase Black film, Black television, Black filmmakers, Black showrunners, and stories about the Black experience, like the 688, which was really deserving of a lot more attention than when it got, in Hidden Figures, which did get nominated for a few Oscars, but unfortunately didn't win. But those are two great movies that showcase two important historical stories that nobody knew about, but now can live forever because you cannot erase history, particularly Black history. And it's just good to see women on the big screen. It's good to see Black women on the big screen. Those are two movies that are near and dear to my heart that, you know what, I watch all the time. And, I think the 688, even though it just came out in 2024, I think it will stand the test of time as well. So, kudos to Netflix.
Kudos to Netflix. Hidden Figures for me in our household is a film that is on repeat. It's a film that I will show my daughter,
Yes,
like you
yes, there you
mentioned.
go. I like that. I love that.
Like to be able to see African-American women in positive roles and in roles of authority, in roles of brilliance, more of that all the time. Like that's something that those are things that I look for to pour into my Black female child. So I definitely want to see more of that. And we don't have to hashtag anything so white if we support the 4 award shows that we just mentioned and shined a light on and highlighted. Again, you got to go where you're celebrated. You have to. It's so important because that's where you get support. And if you don't feel
Yes.
support anywhere else, F them.
No,
You
that's
have four
so well
options.
said. That's so well said. Like, screw hashtag Oscar so white. Just go support these 4 shows. It's easy. I mean, go watch those, go support those, go celebrate those. All 4 of those shows have social media platforms. All 4 of those shows are broadcast somewhere. I mean, you can spend hours and hours and hours on TikTok. You can find these shows. So there's no excuse. There's no excuse. There are entities out here celebrating the Black experience in film and television. Just go check it out. You ain't got to get frustrated watching this other stuff.
So if you do nothing else this Black History Month, tune in, like, comment, tweet, share any morsel of any one of these award shows. Like, do that. Bare minimum.
Yes. It's easy. Remember, NAACP Image Awards, ABFF Honors, African American Film Critics Association Awards, and Celebration of Black Cinema and Television presented by the Critics' Choice. That's easy.
I love that you broke it down. You know that you do news because you're supposed to be able to speak to Middle America, and the way you just broke it down,
it's simple. It's really simple. Or you can dumb it down even further. Just type in, when you go to Google, just type in Black award shows. Black award shows.
Boom.
And they'll pop up. I'm glad we had this discussion. I will always shed love on, Hidden Figures. Very important film. The 6888, very important. I mean, like I said, World War II and Landing on the Moon are 2 of the most cherished moments in the history of the United States. And neither one of them would have happened without Black folk, in particular, Black women.
Hey.
All right, as you can see, we always got notes, and we have lots of notes, but we appreciate y'all for chilling with us, sticking with us. And if you got notes, let us know, and check back in next week for our notes on all, and I mean all, the latest releases.
Don't forget to subscribe and like the We Got Notes podcast on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, or wherever you listen to podcasts.